Hi, welcome to Thoughts with Pointz, and I'm Pointzy, your local acupuncturist. This is the first podcast, hopefully of many to come. Please forgive me, it's not going to be the fantastic one, but hey ho, let's see how we go with this. So today, what I was wanting to talk to you about is something that most people have struggled with, and if they haven't struggled with it, they'll know somebody who has. Back pain. And what we do, we end up with crippling back pain. Sometimes it's an ache, sometimes it's a pain, sometimes it's going down your legs, sometimes it's just a bit of stiffness, and sometimes it puts you flat on your arse and you can't move anymore. And what you're thinking is, oh my God, how the hell can I move? You often can't. That's when you end up going to the doctors and you wait forever to get your appointment. When you finally get an appointment, they'll give you cocodamol, naproxen, amitriptyline, many of the medications that all have some wonderful side effects, normally constipation. Sorry, folks, it is. Or they'll leave you feeling drowsy. If you've really done your back in, you're going to get some diazepam. That's the good stuff, or a bit of tramadol. But you can't drive with them. You can't work with them. Now, for the average person, if you've really done your back in, it's going to be painful for about 6 to 8 weeks. And then it'll ease off, but you'll always be left with that little bit of weakness or stiffness. But you can keep moving with that. Some people will go to an osteopath or a chiropractor, but a lot of people will come to an acupuncturist. Unfortunately, though, they don't come to us until last. Very rarely we get to see them first. We see them as a last resort because they've literally tried everything else and they need some help with their back. They can't take it anymore. The pain is just too much. It's waking up every day with that nasty little ache in your lumbar, or if it's in your middle of your back or up at the neck top. And a lot of people will tell me, it's in my lower back. But interestingly, they've got shoulder and neck problems, and they've also got a lot of tension in their upper shoulders, the trapezius muscle. And it's because the top and the bottom of the neck are connected. And people forget this. The spinal column isn't just one area. It's all of it. And they all have an important job. But that whole spine is the problem, that if you have pain and problems in just one area, you will start to have problems eventually in other areas too, because the muscles are connected. So when you go off to the osteopath and the chiros and sometimes the physios, one of the things they may give you is some nice massage and relax those muscles, which is fantastic because the more we can relax those muscles, the easier the inflammation around the spine will get. And there's less pulling then, and the pulling can cause some sharp pain. Hot showers can really help with this, as can a hot bath. If you can't get to a massage, go and have a really hot shower or a hot bath. If you're going to take the bath route, even better, put some Epsom salts in it. You can get many Epsom salts nowadays, and we know where we can buy them from. You can get them from your Holland & Barrett's, your Boots, your Superdrugs. Most of your health and well-being shops will have some form of Epsom salts, and if all else fails, good old Amazon. It sells everything. The next thing you can do, though, is you can keep it warm. Now, a lot of us will go to bed at night with some sort of hot water bottle or an electric blanket, but when we get up in the morning, we're really, really stiff, especially if it's arthritic pain. If you've got more of an arthritis in your lower back, waking up in the morning, it's cold. And then as you start getting it moving, it hurts more. If you find that you're stiff in the morning, and once you get moving, it eases that pain, it's probably arthritis. If you find it's the other way around, it's less likely to be. If you're jumping out of bed in the morning like you've got a bunny in your rabbit or whatever in your shoes, and by the end of the day you're achy and struggling, that probably isn't the same as your arthritis. That's more likely to be a little bit of a thinning going on there, but it just happens with what you do for a living. The ones that put you on your back, however, figuratively speaking, you know, you hear it, my back went and I couldn't get up. I'm crawling. They're often herniations and bulging discs. So shall we have a look at some of these herniations and bulging discs? This is something you can quite easily Google for the podcast. But I'm actually, for the video, I'll just show you a quick photo. This should work. This, 1 second, technical issues. There we go. So as you can see from the video, a normal disc should look like this. Kind of looks a bit like an Oreo. You have the nice bit of cream in the middle with the two strong biscuits. Now imagine that some of that cream is starting to come out just at one end, and you've got a tiny little bit of the cream coming out at one side. But the two biscuits, the black part of the Oreo biscuits, are still in the same place. Think the Leaning Tower of Pisa as well. You'll get what's called a bulging disc. Now, with a bulging disc, that's going to give you some sharp pains. And it's going to bloody well hurt. But then it'll calm down. And that really sharp pain that you can't move with will ease. But what you're going to be left with is an ache. A constant crampy ache. And every now and then you move in the wrong position and you go, oh, that hurts. That's your bulging disc. Now they can grumble. A bulging disc will settle on their own normally with no treatment needed, 6 to 8 weeks. But just because the pain eases off doesn't mean the bulging disc goes away. It just literally means that the pain has eased off. That this particular bit here isn't as full and the muscles around it are not as inflamed. But the bulging disc never goes away. That's part of the problem. Now, you then have herniated discs. Now, those are the ones where you don't get up easily. And these often end up needing surgery, injections, and serious treatment. After 6 to 8 weeks, a herniated disc doesn't normally settle. They're the ones that you need a MRI because the pain isn't getting better. And they go, oh, you've got a herniated disc. Now, is it bad enough for us to do surgery? No. Is it bad enough for us to do an injection? Yep, we're going to give you an injection for the pain. Or has the numbness and tingling stopped? Have you got the actions on your legs? You're fine. If you happen to get serious back pain where you cannot move, your legs go, and you're having problems with your bowels or your urination, do not faff around trying to get a doctor's appointment. Call 111, 112, 999, whatever number you need to, because that's a serious red flag, folks. We don't want any of them, and you must get medical attention if you get serious back pain suddenly with paralysis, lower sensation, movement, numbness, bowel problems, and bladder problems, especially when they're all combined. Okay, folks? So, herniations then, can acupuncture help with that? Yes. In fact, acupuncture can help with all of these, the degeneration, the disc bulge, the herniation, the thinning discs, and sciatica, which brings us to my second point. Herniated discs then, and some bulging discs. This yellow bit here would be your nerve. This would be what you mostly know as your sciatic nerve. And this is where the pain then goes. Where the nerve travels is where the pain goes. So I get a lot of people that go, I've got pain going down the back of my leg, down the side of my leg, in the side of my knee, going into my foot, at my ankle, in my heel, in my toe. And the trouble is, they've got no back pain, but they do have back cramp, back soreness, backache, but no pain. The leg's the problem. They'll often tell me they've got restless legs, and it turns out they've got sciatica because their bulging disc is sat touching a nerve that it shouldn't be touching. We need to calm the bulging disc, and it calms the nerve pain. This can also occur at any point in the spine. So not just in the lumbar, people can get it in the upper. So say this bulging disc is in the middle of your back or closer to your neck, you're going to get pins and needles and numbness and tingling in your arms, in your hands, maybe some elbow pain, maybe some shoulder pain. Doesn't quite feel like it's your shoulder. You can move your shoulder all the way up and move it around, but you've got a nasty sharp pain in that upper arm, especially on the outside. And you're thinking, well, is it my shoulder? Isn't it? Maybe best to look elsewhere. More likely to be your neck. And do not go and have chiropractor. If you've got pain in your upper arm coming from your neck, do not see a chiropractor, because it may well be a bulging disc, and without an MRI, nobody should be manipulating that neck. MRI tells us what's going on, so we then know how to treat it. Anyhow, what can we do then at home? Again, you want heat. Really helps with a lot of these issues, keeping that area warm. Some deep heat rubs, a bit of tiger balm. You can go for some nice massage. As I say, if you want to try osteopath and chiropractor, fantastic. Physiotherapy, brilliant. Get moving. Gentle movements would be really good for you, especially water. Walking in a pool, swimming, anything in that, aqua aerobics, because again, that helps settle the spine. Any sort of exercises that strengthen your core. So Pilates, Tai Chi, Qigong, martial arts, because these are all moving and gentle and help strengthen your core while also stabilizing your spine. All of these things can help to maintain discs that are degenerative, discs that are struggling, but they can also maintain arthritic discs, the thinning discs, ankylosing spondylosis, spondylitis, things like this all respond well to gentle exercises. And of course, I'm going to say it, shameless plug, all of them benefit from acupuncture, which works completely different to any other treatment. And we don't always tend to stick the pins where the pain is. Most of them, you would have the pins in your arms and legs, in your hands or the top of your head. And they're going to help to ease the pain in a natural way. So this has been Pointzy with Thoughts for Points. If you want to ask us a question or send in any tips, any questions or any future ideas for further podcasts, we'd love to hear from you. Thanks for listening, guys. Take care. Keep your back safe.